even if I was taking video or photographs of people's license plates, what would be the concern there?
Well, some people have voiced the concern that somebody might visit them at their house or might do some searches, and there might be some other repercussions coming from that, is what it was told to me.
How's it going, guys? Watching the Watchman here, out with Amagansett Press, and today we're in Wichita, Kansas, at the Kansas Gas and Electric Company here called Evergy. Which is the public utility company, and we don't usually go to public utility companies, so this will be interesting. And the reason why we're going to come to this electric company here is because I don't know if you guys have heard the song Wichita Lineman. I'm sure most of you have, but you know, just had to come to the electric company looking for the lineman, right? But yeah, so as usual, we're going to take some video here on public property and see if the folks respect our First Amendment right to do that. And if they call the cops, which oftentimes happens, we want to see if they respect our First Amendment right to take video on the public sidewalk also. So we'll see how this goes. And depending on how this goes, we might go to more public utility companies. And also based on feedback, let us know in the comments if you want to see us go to more public utility companies. So we'll see how it goes. They do have a security gate over there, and it looked like a decent amount of cars come in and out when we were driving by, and should be interesting. So I'll give you a little look around at the neighborhood we're in. And this is our first time in Kansas, here in Wichita, so.
Let's go, watch me.
What's up?
What's up? We finally made it to Wichita.
Yeah.
Gotta see if the lineman's around.
This is the main sign here. So we looked at the property map, like AP was saying, and obviously the public sidewalk is the public sidewalk, they don't own that. And that whole piece of grass back there, beyond their fence, outside of their fence, between their fence and the highway ramp there, is not their property. So we'll see if we can get a vehicle or two coming in and out of the gate here. So it looks like we have a vehicle coming this way. Hopefully get some footage of it coming out of the gate here. And looks like this truck might be pulling in here. So it looks like she's pulling right back into the parking lot over there.
I have a sneaking suspicion she's going to find out what we're doing.
Yeah. So the lady that just drove by is
electric
going back in through the main entrance there. So So it seems like down here in the Kansas, Oklahoma area, we've been getting recognized a couple times. A guy just drove by blowing his horn. So that lady's getting back into her van now.
Do you want to take a walk around the side there on the public property where we can go?
I guess, right? Might as well.
Yeah, might as well check it out. It's the only other side of the building we can walk on.
Yeah.
So there's only two options at this point. Either they have noticed us and don't want to hassle us and know what's going on, or they have not noticed us, which is hard to believe, especially since that woman went in there, or they're just being very lax and not caring what we're doing. And you know, at some level, guys, I'm not saying that anybody's rights should be infringed on at all. Absolutely not. That's what we're doing here. But I do understand security, and this is a public utility. And I'm not saying anybody should come out and confront us, but somebody should just be keeping an eye on a couple of guys wandering around the electric company, I would think. So I certainly hope that somebody's looking out one of these windows and keeping an eye on us, just for security reasons. I think it would be foolish for anyone to say they should just not care. Right?
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
What?
There's like 3 people ducking out around that corner.
Are there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they just ducked, all right. And you can tell where their property line is too, because that's why they only put the grass in up to there.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Allied Universal security vehicle right there.
Yeah, I saw that before.
Yeah. So they do have private security here. Oh, I just saw something moving up in that window.
Well, it would be great if Allied Security chooses not to make a fool out of themselves, because they've done that many, many times before. They should know better by now. There have been many audits where Allied Universal. Also a possibility that police have been called and nobody wants to get involved. There's somebody in the door right there looking out at us.
Yeah.
It's funny how they think because the windows are tinted that you can't see in.
Yeah. Well, let's come back to the gate here, maybe get a couple more cars going in and out. So, got a truck coming out here.
Waving at us. You never know, guys. Maybe Wichita got the memo, which would be outstanding. You want to take a walk around the corner here? Just we can walk down the sidewalk of the street, check out the parking lot.
Oh, there's a sidewalk there?
Yeah,
Cool.
it looks like it.
Oh, that corner. Yeah.
A little cloak on this side of the building. These are the big cans you see hanging up on the telephone poles. Somebody will certainly chime in and say exactly what they are and what the proper name is.
I see a guy walking out now, so you know, as soon as we start the outro, something always changes, but we'll see.
That, and I just want to make sure everything was cool.
A couple of co-workers uneasy about
you guys videotaping the building and their vehicles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and you can, I'm sure you can understand that aspect of it. I mean, this day of, you know, people stealing identity and finding different ways to do that, people videotaping people's license.
I'm having a hard time hearing you because they're traffic. And I'm not worried about the face covering thing or whatever.
I'm not worried about
the 6 feet. I'm not worried about it.
Oh, I'm not either. I was just trying to stay in the shot.
Oh, I got you.
No, I'm kidding aside. No, they're just concerned that people taking pictures of license plates and that sort of thing. And I just was going to ask you gentlemen what was going on.
Well, I generally don't explain what I'm doing when I'm standing on a public sidewalk. That would kind of be like you're on a public sidewalk doing your thing and I walk up and ask you what you're doing.
Yeah, but it's just that you're videotaping some people's personal vehicles, and I was just asking about that aspect.
I don't know what's personal vehicles and what's company vehicles.
Well, the company vehicles have the name on the sides, and the personal vehicles are the ones that don't.
You could assume that. But after 51 years on this planet, I realized that I tend not to assume things.
I understand. Any of the vehicles here that have the Evergy name are company vehicles, and any of the vehicles that are here right now that don't are not.
So what would be, let me just ask you, I'll entertain your question because you're being professional and cordial.
Well, there's no other way to be, man.
So what would, even if I was taking video or photographs of people's license plates, what would be the concern there?
Well, some people have voiced the concern that somebody might visit them at their house or might do some searches, and there might be some other repercussions coming from that, is what it was told to me.
Well, my answer to that would be, is the license plates plastered on the back of your car? I know here you only have a back plate, right? No front plate.
That is correct. In the state of Kansas, that is correct.
So you know, it's out for public viewing, and as far as I'm aware, I don't think the public has access to that information.
I'm not familiar with that. I've never tried.
They
so
might.
I can't say one way or the other, but it behooves me not to just ask the questions. It's not every day that we see somebody filming the building and asking the question. So, you know. Gotcha. I wouldn't be doing my due diligence, and I wouldn't be doing them any
well, you work
favors
for Evergy, right?
Yes, that is correct, sir.
Yeah, so I think the due diligence would have been on the part of the Allied Universal security guard, who got into what appeared to be his personal vehicle, pull out of the gate and yell LGBTQ at me with his thumb up.
I was not a witness to any of that, so I'll have to take
it's on video. Yeah, but well, you'll see the video. But that's what your security guy's doing. So maybe he needs to be out here talking to me instead of playing games.
If he left, there's no chance he's going to come out and talk to you.
Well, you know, he pulled out of the gate right past us and just screamed out something real stupid, as far as I'm concerned.
I wasn't a part of that. I can't tell you what.
But I think we could both agree that if you have security personnel contracted here on the property to run security, one of them is the people that should have came out and spoke to me rather than yourself.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned earlier, what I was told was that since you are on public properties,
right,
and since you are, there really isn't anything that they could do, since you have maintained on public property while you're doing it.
Well, it's good that they know that.
So they said there's really nothing they can do. So I said, well, and my supervisor said, you can go out and have a chat with him if you want. So here I am.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, and just so you know, I mean, we could have walked onto the property. There's nothing stopping me. There's no trespassing signs or anything like that.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
But we're staying out on the in the public domain here of our own accord, you know.
And I appreciate and respect that. Thank you.
No, we're not trying to disrespect anybody or rile anybody up. We're just doing our thing out on a public sidewalk, man.
Okay.
You know, and as far as it being unusual,
well, for us it is.
I get that, but if somebody rode down the sidewalk on a tricycle with a pink tutu on, that would be unusual, but it wouldn't be against the law, and it wouldn't be something you'd want to go ask them what they're doing for.
Well, we actually had an incident where some people were starting some fires under the bridge. They seemed fairly normal until they started some fires under the bridge, and we recently had somebody seemed okay until they exposed themselves. So we've had a few incidents in the last couple of months that were not on our property, but they were well within our visual.
And did Allied do their job that day?
Their job was, the cops were notified and things were taken care of, yes.
Very good. Oh, that's
So-
what, you know, because security's job is to observe and report.
And that's what they did.
Right. So
on
here-
those situations, but you know, this being this situation that it is,
I just really don't get the fear of cameras that people have.
I can respect that.
I don't know, when you and I were young, you have a little gray hair, so I'll lump you into my category. But,
Happy to be there because I noticed you have a little bit too.
yeah, more than a little bit. But, and I earned every one of them.
I'm not
But,
disputing
you know,
that.
when we were younger, people had no issue with the cameraman. You'd see somebody out here and you'd come out for your lunch break and go, "Hi, Mom," and wave and get in your truck and leave.
I get that.
So, I don't know if, you know, there is a certain level of prudence and precaution that you must take, and that, like you said, that would be, you'd be lacking in your responsibility if you didn't do that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, people panicking, getting all nervous and inventing, oh, they're going to look up my plate, come to my house. That to me starts to fringe on paranoia and a level of fear where none of us wants to be. And most of the time that's,
I can respect that
you know,
opinion.
that's all inside somebody's head, and I tend not to live my life that way.
I can respect that opinion.
Right?
I can.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think we've come to terms with everything needs to be said out here unless you have any other questions.
Yeah, I would just, you know what I would have done if it was me? I would have came out a long time ago, asked me what I was doing. I said, "You gentlemen, you know."
Now, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I apologize.
Okay. No, no problem. But you know, it's being that it's a public utility, I might even say, "Hey, do you guys want to come inside, take a look, and see what's going on here? Do you have any questions about anything?" You know, because the public is able to, if I wanted to, I could just walk up to the door, walk in. If somebody asked me to leave, obviously I'd have to leave.
I get that.
But, you know, I could just walk. It's a public building.
Well,
Publicly accessible building.
we do have certain COVID protocols in place in the building, and in terms of allowing visitors, there is some COVID protocols that are still in place that visitors have to do. So I couldn't just invite you in arbitrarily. There's some hoops that would have to be gone through, so that option is not available to me today.
So before the COVID situation, you were welcoming visitors in?
Before the COVID situation, there would have been somebody else out here to talk to you.
There would have been somebody else out, as in security.
No, as in a high-ranking official at Evergy.
And they don't do that anymore.
No, those people are working more remotely than before. So that's we're still in our COVID protocol. So that still is we're still there.
I got you. Well, what I'm going to do for you is, only because you've earned it. You're a true gentleman. Like I said, you're being very professional, very cordial, and I appreciate that. And I think you've proven my point here today, where we don't have to understand exactly what each other are doing. We don't have to approve of necessarily what each other are doing, but there's always that middle ground we can find and respect what each other are doing, and respect each other's right to do as we do. You know, I enjoy living in a free country, and right now, my favorite way of saying it is our Constitution is taking a proverbial ass whooping these days. So I'm going to tell you exactly what we're doing, only because I said because you earned it. I probably wouldn't have explained myself if it came across any other way. But this is my son, okay? We're from Colorado.
Nice.
We've spent the last 18 months, we just turned 32,000 miles by road.
Wow.
Traveling the country. This is our 31st state we've been in.
Nice.
In defense of our Constitution. So what may seem strange to some is what we do is, I have a long history in photography, video. I used to work for newspapers and media outlets years ago.
Okay.
So many times in the course of my employment, my rights were infringed upon by police officers, employees, the public, on a public sidewalk doing my thing, right?
Sure.
So we've chosen video as our venue to go out and exercise our First Amendment right to take video in public.
Okay.
So it's a very fine line that we walk, because I don't enjoy myself riling up people's feathers, but at the same time, if I can catch your attention, somebody wants to come out and have the conversation, what that does, from my perspective, is inspires critical thinking and open dialogue and conversation. And if you choose to call if you had chosen to call the police on us, I enjoy having the same conversation with law enforcement, because we have very good law enforcement in this country in a lot of ways. Some law enforcement, not so much. So I enjoy finding the guys who are on the not so much side, having a talk with them, and making them think about what they're doing and how they're treating people, and how they're performing their duties and their mandate. So this is what this is. I'll tell you exactly what it is. Simple as it is, it's an exercise of rights.
Okay.
It's an exercise of the First Amendment. That's why we stayed on the sidewalk, because the sidewalk is the public domain.
Absolutely.
And we just walk around and take video. And ideally, my real hope is that nobody comes out, nobody says anything to us, or we get a friendly wave, everybody's okay with it, nobody gets upset, nobody gets put in fear, and everything's fine. That's really my end goal result. That's the world I want to live in, and that's the world I want to leave for my son.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more.
You know, those things don't always go that way.
Sure.
But then again, like I said, it gives us an opportunity to have the conversation.
I think these types of conversations need to happen more often.
Yes, sir.
And I think that there's a level of respect that has been lost in today.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how else to put it. I've seen it constantly.
Yep.
But I can't get too political. I don't want to be...
No.
I don't want to say that I'm saying this as an Evergy employee. I'm saying this as a person.
Right. And you've done nothing but make your company look very outstanding. So you have, I know from my perspective.
Thank you.
You've made them look very good, and you're a good representative for them.
Thank you. Well, we're just trying to do what we do, you know.
Of course.
And totally observe your rights.
And I get people's fears. But you know what? Look how quick you came out.
I just found out about it and took a few minutes to look at some things and then decided to come out after I got permission, if you will.
Here's what you can do if you want to help the world, you want to help society. Go back inside and don't just tell them everything's okay. I talked to the guy, they're just doing their thing, taking video, whatever. Go inside and explain to them that these conversations are valuable.
Oh, absolutely.
And that we need to communicate with each other. And, you know, maybe something that looks like an oak tree is really not an oak tree. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not what it appears to be.
Well, and that's, you know, and if we don't ask, we'll never know.
Right. So look how quickly you found out. But again, I want to emphasize the only reason I'm being this forthright with you and I'm being this professional back at you is because that's what you threw at me. I return courtesy and respect with courtesy and respect, and I return, excuse my French, asshole with bigger asshole. I'm originally from New York, so I'll win that battle every time.
I can totally appreciate that.
Yeah, that's all.
I'm married to an Italian woman. I totally get that.
There you go. I bet you have very in-line kids.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not going to argue with that at all.
And you're Irish, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah, I see your hat.
Yes, I am. I do have some Irish heritage.
Yeah.
You're very lucky. You're very lucky.
Yeah.
Very fortunate. I hope you're soaking all this in, and I hope for the future, I hope you maintain these videos because you'll want to look back on them one day.
Oh, he will.
For sure.
And you know what? I'm just as lucky. I have the most wonderful kid I could imagine.
Good deal.
And I also have a wonderful wife. Been married. I've been with my wife since I was 14 years old. We started dating in high school. It's 37 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you know, a gentleman like yourself, don't feel like you just have to sit back and watch the news and get worried about what's going on in the world. Get proactive. And what you could do to be proactive, I'm not asking you to pick up a camera and go out and film places, but when you go back inside, don't, like I said, don't just say, oh, they're fine, they're exercising their rights, that's it. Really let them know what was going on out here today. So that at the very least, next time something like this happens, or they're in a situation where somebody's taking video, maybe they won't get, maybe you'll save them from having to get scared or afraid or worried about what's going on. It's just a camera. You know, and the guy that's going to look to cause you a problem and the guy you really have to worry about, you won't even see him coming.
I would tend to believe that you're right on that.
But my name's Jason.
I'm Jeff. Nice
Jeff,
to meet you,
pleasure
sir.
to meet you, sir.
Very nice to
Ben.
meet you. Ben, nice
And
to
I
meet you.
thank you for coming out. I really appreciate it. You're probably not going to remember the name of my channel because it's the name of the village I'm from in New York. Actually, have your phone on you?
Yeah.
Do you have YouTube?
Yeah.
So go to YouTube, and I'll tell you exactly how you can find us, and you'll be able to see yourself acting like a gentleman on the video tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
And if any of Jeff's higher-ups are watching this video, man, don't be upset with him for coming out. Promote the guy, because this is who you want working for you.
I got lucky. My boss said okay. Otherwise, we're not supposed to talk to anybody with a camera. Okay.
Well, your boss did the right thing today as well. Tell him I said that.
I will
for
do
whatever
that.
that's worth.
I will do that. He's already called me once.
Good. So you're on
I'm on YouTube.
YouTube search. So just put in AMAG. I'll be the first thing that pops up. Amagansett Press. That's me.
Okay.
And then my son's channel is easy to remember. It's Watching the Watchmen.
Is that this one?
That's us.
Okay.
Yep. And you guys, you know what? You passed with flying colors. 100% pass on your audit here, and I think you're partially
If
thanked
I
for that.
like, does that mean I'm following you now?
No, if you want to follow, you gotta go back to the back to where you were. Scroll to the top.
Subscribe?
Yes.
Okay.
Subscribe, and then there's a bell there. Hit the bell.
Okay.
And click all notifications.
Alright.
And then make sure you don't have notifications turned off in your YouTube app.
Okay. I can do that.
And you'll be
I'm not
notified.
very technologically savvy. You can ask my kids that.
Well, this will be up tomorrow.
Okay.
And you'll be able to easily find it that way, or you can just type in Evergy, you'll find it very easily. But you know, guys, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, but guys like us can do a lot to help what's going on, even if it's on a grassroots local situation, just making some folks feel better about what's going on. So I invite you to do that every day, every time you get the chance.
Okay, it's nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
You guys have a good day.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
to your sign here for a second? Just say goodbye.
I'm not going to say anything. Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks. I appreciate you.
All right, guys. Well, you saw how that went. We were right in the middle of the outro, as usual. You know, you start wrapping it up, and something happens. But in this case, it was good. And we met Jeff, and he seemed like a nice guy, solid dude, and came out and had the conversation with us. Wasn't confrontational. It was very professional and cordial, and we appreciate that. And that's how people in these positions should behave. I know. You know, there's whatever subtleties and nuance to publicly owned versus, you know, public utilities and, you know, different government funding and all that. But when you're working in a position here where you're dealing with the public, that's really how you should be. And Jeff is a shining example of what we like to see. So a lot of the time when we do these videos, as I'm sure you guys know, people like to make clowns out of themselves. And you know, it's unfortunate, but this is what we're looking for here. So couldn't ask for any better video. Nobody gave us any trouble, and we had a good productive conversation with Jeff, and hopefully he'll spread the message throughout his company here. So if you want to leave any feedback for Evergy and for Jeff, all that contact info will be in the description, and you can feel free to call up and let them know how you appreciate that they didn't give us a hard time over taking video in public, and commend Jeff if that's what you feel like doing. And also, we encourage you guys for this video and any of our videos, less so this video because nothing really happened and we had a good conversation. But in, you know, more actively involved videos, like videos where we go into public buildings and such, we encourage you to do a follow-up on your own, whether you've done audits before or not. You know, study up on the law and your rights, watch some of our videos and some other people's videos, and go ahead and do a follow-up when we do a video and see, you know, if we got a negative response, see if we made some change and you come back and get a positive response, or if we get a positive response, see if you come back and get a negative one, some different employees working that day or something. So if you like this video, you appreciate what we do, you want to support the channel, the best way you can do that is to subscribe, hit the like button, turn on notifications, and comment, and check out my other social medias. So, Watching the Watchman, out with Amagansett Press. See you in the next one, guys.